Do not bring my flatulence into this.
You don't get to call it flatulence. It's farting.
Welcome to What Pissed You Off This Week.
I'm your host, Lele. Tampere? More like Tampere. Am I right? You said it wasn't an insult, that it wasn't my city.
It wasn't a personal insult this time.
And I'm joined here today by Torgeir. If his DNA was off by 1 percentage point, he'd be a giraffe. Ryssevik. Say hello, Torgeir.
Hello.
You know, I was originally going to completely catch you off guard and just say something super nice.
Yeah.
Like the original was like my best friend, and then I was really hoping that you had said something horrible, so that you would look like a huge asshole, and I would look like such a nice person.
Yeah, that's how we do it around here.
Yeah, because that would have been like if you had like I'm the biggest bitch in the world, and I'm like my best friend. It would have been hilarious. Anyway, we are back from here.
Nordic Eurovision Party.
Pew, 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 pew. You did tracks.
I did tracks. Audiovisual, yes.
Yes, and it went so well. Like, we had so much fun. I was so stressed this year.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to everyone who worked with me. I feel like I was so stressed, but we did so well.
Yeah, we absolutely were not shitting ourselves backstage, that's for sure.
Speaking of, Torgeir, what pissed you off this week?
What pissed me off this week is Marte Stokstad. This is personal. Yeah, so I was doing the audiovisual for the Nordic Eurovision Party this year, and I use a program called QLab, where I take all the files that I need to queue up during the whole show, and I have them all in order, what needs to come at what time in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And we had agreed on the order with the producer and with Marte, who was presenting all the artists and whatnot. And she had gone to her backstage, which was on the opposite side of the stage to our backstage, and like written her script and all of that, and just put everything in a completely different order.
Without telling you.
Without telling us shit. So whenever she got on stage, I was sitting next to the producer, and we were like, okay, what is she saying now? What is she saying now? We could not hear anything because we didn't have our own monitors. So we had to rely on the stage monitors, the wedges, which were, I don't know, 15 meters away.
Yeah.
We couldn't hear shit. It was all just bass rumbling in the room. It's all we heard during most of the talking and the performances.
No.
So we had to rely on mostly intonation to hear what she was even saying. And yeah, so we had to look through the whole list and find... Oh, I think she's talking about that interview that's gonna be in 2 hours from now.
Oh, so the interviews were also completely switched?
Yeah, the interviews were switched up. I queued the wrong interview once.
You did?
Yeah.
Which point?
She was introducing a Polish artist, and I queued the one with Zoe, I think.
Right.
That was a little bit of a fuck up, but also the major fuck up regarding this whole...
Wait, there was some kind of a major fuck up?
There was a major fuck up.
I didn't notice.
Marte writing her own script.
Oh, that fuck up.
Yeah, because at one point we were supposed to show a video to Kyle Alessandro, which his classmates had made for him. That was at maybe the 45-minute point in my track list. But yeah, she comes out on stage, and instead of queuing that, she queues some interview. And I had to fucking shit my pants trying to find that one interview she was queuing. And then she just leaves the stage, never queuing Kyle. I don't know, Kyle was probably ready backstage to come on the stage, but that never happened. Until like maybe an hour later, where she now decides this is the right moment to show that Kyle video. And she is like hyping it up and all of that. And she says, and welcome to the stage, Kyle Alessandro.
And he's obviously not there.
He is not ready backstage.
I was filming the concert, so I was in the barricade. Yeah. And then you write to me, yeah, we're kind of writing our own script here. I'm like, oh, so that's what's happened.
Yeah. No, so she cues in Kyle Alessandro, and she's like, turns to the audience again. Let's try that once more. Kyle Alessandro. And she again turns to the place where the artists are supposed to come out from. Still not coming. Then she turns to me, and I turn to her like...
But like, what the fuck did she expect to happen? If she doesn't notify anyone of the changes she is making on the fly, how the hell are you supposed to know what she's gonna do?
I don't know. Kyle showed up like 2 or 3 minutes after.
Yeah, it took a while for him to come.
Yeah, but like...
And he was clearly, he had run. Because the thing is, this was at Sentrum Scene.
Which is a fucking maze.
Yeah, so if he was at the delegation bubble we had, that's like a full 5-6 minute walk.
Yeah, and run.
Yeah, and he had
like
fully ran it.
narrow alleyways and like stairs and fucking, yeah. If you're an audience at Sentrum Scene, it's gonna look fine. But if you're working Sentrum Scene, getting from one place to another
takes a while.
In the behind the scenes area, oh my god.
It's a maze.
Yeah, fully a maze.
You got lost a couple of times where you had to call me like, where am I? How do I get out of here?
Because there's like a staircase leading to a different staircase.
Yeah.
And I thought I was in that staircase.
And if you exit a room through the wrong door, you might not be able to get back to the route that will take you to where you're supposed to go.
And that like 50-meter long hallway where when you reach the end of it, it only says too far.
Yeah, it means that you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, right before that, there's a door that takes you to the other room that will then take you to the stage. So if you're going to the stage and if you go there, you've gone too far. That's what I say. Yeah, it was a difficult venue to navigate. But like from filming perspective, because the barricade was allowed to be, or the pit was allowed to be wider than at the Rockefeller. I preferred it a lot more. I liked Sentrum Scene. Although I really felt the stairs of Sentrum Scene the next morning.
Oh, yeah?
Oh my God. The amount of running up and down those stairs that I did.
Yeah.
You were mainly training your butt muscles, sitting like doing the tracks and all the, like sound checks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, of course, that's also like hard work, but like you didn't have to run around.
It's not that hard work. There's not a lot of
I just didn't want to sound like I'm diminishing your...
But it's hard work in terms of it's just a really long day.
Yeah.
And like I cannot leave that seat too much because there is
and it's a fairly
much
repetitive task.
Yeah, and like because there are sound checks back to back, and like I need to be there to cue those tracks because those tracks aren't queuing themselves. So if I take a 2-minute bathroom break, then the whole crew and all the artists are then waiting for me for those 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Anyways, so that was a little bit about my experience at Nordic Eurovision Party.
But it was such a blast though. And like we had so much fun. And I hope I will get to work the event next year as well.
Hell yeah. I always have to think before I say the title of the event. Nordic
Music Celebration.
Nordic Music Celebration was what it was called last year.
But Nordic Eurovision Party.
Yes.
Our crew did so well. We grew their Instagram followers by like, I think 600 people. And like, I'm so proud of my camera crew that I had.
Yeah.
Like they made it easy to delegate tasks, which I liked.
Very good. I've seen the shots. They look really good.
Really freaking good.
Yeah. Anyways, do you want to tell us what pissed you off this week?
I would love to.
Hell yeah.
What pissed me off this week was driving in Oslo Sentrum.
How could that piss you off?
I had a panic attack and we had to switch drivers.
I was the driver you had to switch with.
Yeah, and he had like 1.5 contact lenses.
Oh, yeah. I had the wrong contacts prescription at that point as well.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, like, I had already been driving from Rena to Oslo at that point for a couple of hours. And like, we enter Oslo Sentrum. First of all, I've never driven in Oslo Sentrum before. And I haven't driven in like a big city in a while because I've been here and we have one road here.
Yeah, we call it the road.
Skildes Road. We hit Oslo Sentrum right around 4.
Yeah.
Which is when fucking everyone gets off work.
Yeah.
I realized it like after. Like that's why there were so many people everywhere walking on reds and like practically trying to get hit by the car and like so many roadworks and everything in Oslo and like the fucking tunnels and the GPS doesn't work in the tunnels.
Yeah, so fucking that pisses me off about Oslo every fucking time.
You have to just hope that you got the right exit and you're about to find out about a minute and a half after you've come out of the tunnel.
Yeah, when the map decides to load.
Yeah, but yeah, driving in Oslo was so nerve-wracking because I'm so afraid of scratching cars because like we borrowed our friend's car. Shout out to Robin. You were such a homie.
When I went to give him the car after,
Yeah.
I met some of the guys who live in that block outside, and like I pull out of the car and I was like, "Hey," and they were like, "I've never seen anyone pull into a parking spot that slowly." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I did not want to scratch that car." He was very adamant about that, and I'm not gonna scratch the car on the last meter that I'm driving.
Oh, that would be awful. You know, like if you just drive too far and dent the front of the car, like.
Yeah.
Oopsie doopsie.
But I probably spent a full 4 or 5 seconds on the last meter.
But it was just so fucking horrible. There's so many roadworks, one-side streets, so many cars, and no space fucking anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing about, I've noticed, like, cities in general and, like, in the Nordics, because they were designed when cars were significantly smaller.
Yes.
And especially parking lots and parking garages that are old were designed for cars in like the 30s or 40s, and that was like 1/3 of a car now, you know?
Yeah, and like when also cars were for the richest rich people.
Yeah, so
you
there
know
were
what I mean?
way less of them.
Yeah.
So like, oh my God, that just made me so anxious, and like my body couldn't tell the difference between a life and death situation and driving in the middle of Oslo, because
Which would be pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, I have now tried to introduce this segment around 5 or 8 times. I don't know. And it has been such a horrible experience that I'm not doing it again. This is the last time. So to get it, I have prepared a quiz for us.
We're gonna call it Who is More Likely To? Yes.
Yes, and I tried to introduce a segment like 10 times. I couldn't do it, so he had to.
Yes, completely original idea that we had. No one has ever done
No.
anything like this before. Who is more likely to?
I didn't Google questions for this and take of like them from the first 2 articles that I found.
Yes, I've definitely not played this as a drinking game on every Forspill I've been to.
We actually haven't played this game. We've always played, well, I mean, Snoozebox, I guess is who's more like. Anywho, we're getting excited.
Anyways.
Our first question is, who is most likely to get arrested? 1, 2, 3.
Definitely.
Yeah, because I am famously, I don't think we have established it on the podcast.
What is your reasoning for me being arrested?
My reasoning for you being the one to get more likely to get arrested is that like I said, I don't think we've established it here, but I am deathly afraid of consequences.
Yeah, that's true.
But I am extremely reserved in a certain way. Like, I will not do anything that's actually stupid or dangerous or illegal because I am so terrified of consequences.
I'm not the type of guy who would like argue with cops unless I know that I'm right. You know what I mean?
You will talk back to police. I mean, that has been an issue with me, like an authority problem. But yeah, you will definitely be like, I know, like just you fucking stupid idiot.
I would not say no, but I would come with a well actually.
You would come with a bit more aggressive well actually.
Passive aggressive. But
no, it wouldn't be passive.
Oh, you don't know me.
I do know you.
Surface level.
How dare you?
I'm very deep actually. On like a deep level.
Yeah, I've smelt you from very deep inside. Unfortunately on the daily.
Do not bring my flatulence into this.
You don't get to call it flatulence. It's farting. Who is most likely to skip a work shift? 1, 2, 3. Torgeir.
Yeah, probably me. Not because I'm lazy, because tummy issues. Yeah.
Tummy. I have only ever called in sick once when I haven't actually been sick, and that was when I lived in Estonia.
Yeah.
And I said that I probably have some kind of stomach bug. I was just so fucking hungover.
Oh, yeah.
I could not. Like, I had drank 4.5 liters of long drink alone in like an hour the night before when I was gaming. And I was feeling so bad the next morning. I just couldn't. Who is most likely to tell a really bad joke? 1, 2, 3. You!
All my jokes are fire.
No, they are not. What is the sentence that I keep saying to you constantly? How can somebody be sometimes so funny and sometimes so unfunny?
It's all about perception. So you are again the problem. Is he always funny?
No, you are not. I am very funny. You're laughing at your own joke. You know how all the funny people are?
Huh?
The only ones laughing at their own jokes?
Yeah, because you need that sense of humor, like that level of, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not stooping down to your level.
Let me finish my set. You need that sense of humor to be able to fathom the humoristics of it.
Are you doing the Rick and Morty bit?
What?
The Rick and Morty bit? The Rick and Morty humor is just so elevated. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah. Is it high IQ humor?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just wouldn't fathom it.
I just wouldn't get. Okay.
And the joke is, I'm a pickle.
Yeah.
It was actually a really good episode with like armoring up with the rat skeletons and whatnot.
Yeah.
Really fucking cool.
But like,
but the memification of it and just how
it wasn't that funny.
Every 13-year-old kid and their mom would go around shouting, "I'm a pickle, pickle rat," for I don't know
2
how
years?
many months. Yeah, years. Every fucking T-shirt being sold anywhere had a pickle rake on it.
The thing is, like, it wasn't that funny. It was funny, but not that funny.
Yeah, like it was funny, but when it's memed to that point, I'm like, out of principle, that's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's been memed that much.
Yeah. All right. Who is more likely to sleep with a teddy bear? 1, 2, 3.
Yay!
Maybe.
Yes.
I sleep with 2 teddy bears, Lisa and Kalle.
Yes.
That I dragged all the way to Finland and back for Christmas. And when I stayed the night at you guys' place for the first time, I also had them with me.
Yes.
Who is most likely to start a podcast? Who is most likely to unknowingly join a cult?
1, 2, 3.
You. Me?
You. Yeah.
I would say you. Because I'm so weary of other people.
Yeah.
I'm like, aren't trying to sell me. But you would also be that. But thing is, I feel like you would get super into like some kind of a music thing that you wouldn't realize it is technically called. Like kind of like, I don't know, like a plugin or something that you would get super hyped over.
No.
Yeah?
Yeah. Fuck plugins, man.
Yeah?
Fuck plugins. Plugins, huge scam. Like things with audio editing, there are only that many things you can do with audio. So like whatever plugins people are trying to sell you, it's just taking those same parameters as every other plugin and just putting it in a different package.
Yeah.
And like, oh, now you can do all of this with one knob. And it's basically all just presets.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you need plugins to do your shit. But like, yeah, once you have your bread and butter for what you need for making music, you don't need to buy a single plugin ever. Unless it's like a cool instrument or if it's something fun, you know what I mean? Something that helps you be creative because it does something
like
fun
Nani?
or cool. Or yeah, Nani is really fun. You know what I mean? But that's also not something you would ever need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just booby go haha.
Yeah, booby go haha. But yeah, plugins, big ass scam. If you're a music producer and you're thinking of buying another compressor, how about trying to learn to use those 58 other compressors you already have? Yeah, try that first.
Yeah, try that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Music production stuff.
Knowledge.
Who is most likely to ask for advice but never take it?
1, 2, 3. You.
Me.
Yeah.
I feel like I ask you for advice on something like every day.
Mm-hmm.
I very rarely take it.
You very rarely even stop to listen for an answer.
Yeah, that's also true. Like, sometimes I do. Like, I appreciate your input and I appreciate your expertise and like you know. But like sometimes, like, nah, but he's wrong. Like, you know, if I ask like, oh, which bread should I pick or sandwich, and you say the other one, and I was already thinking of the other. I'm like, no, I want the other one. Yeah. I don't take advice. But I don't mean that I don't appreciate your advice. Please keep giving it to me. Who is most likely to fart in an elevator full of people? 1, 2, 3, you. Especially if you've drank Coca-Cola.
No, that's burps.
Oh, that's burp, fuck yeah.
Yeah. There are no Coca-Cola farts.
Yeah, that doesn't make it that far.
Yeah, no.
No.
Like, Coca-Cola immediately comes back up.
Who is most likely to give a sarcastic comment?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Take me.
Yes, you.
I always say to you, like, oh, I was being passive aggressive. And then you're like, I think you forgot the passive part.
Yeah.
I think that was just aggressive. Because I'll be retelling a story of what I said. Like, he was like, that's not passive aggressive. That's just aggressive.
Yes. Big difference there.
Yes. This episode has once again been such a shit show.
No fart and burp show, actually. Who is more likely to like and comment on this episode?
Beep, beep, beep.
Woo! Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And also subscribe and watch all of our episodes
Yes.
on a loop all the time.
Yes.
It helps us a bunch. So do you feel like now that you have learned anything more about me or you?
I don't think either of us learned anything. We just learned that we disagree on who's funnier, I guess.
I think definitely you are less funny.
Fuck you. No. I'm incredibly funny. Shut up. Don't wink at the camera. Stop winking at motherfucker.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of What Pissed You Off This Week.
If you enjoyed the episode, please rate and review. It helps us a lot.
It does.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at What Pissed You Off Pod and What Pissed You Off Podcast.
Hell yeah, podcast.
Hell yeah. And leave a comment or a like on our TikToks when you see them.
Yes.
Even if you just want to tell us how much you hate us, we'd love to hear it.
Or if you want to tell us what pissed you off this week.
Yes, please send us in what pissed you off this week.
Yes. We're saying goodbye to you, tall blonde lady in the long silver dress with a completely made up script in your hand. What's that about?
Is that Marte?
Could it be Marte Stokstad?
I think it might be. He's coming for
We actually do like you, Marte
we like
Stokstad. But you were kind of frustrating when you kept changing the script. Bye!
Bye! Ah!
Oh.